Porsches occupy a strange, magnetic space in the car-buying world. They're chic yet practical, exotic yet somehow familiar, and they carry a reputation so potent that simply saying the name makes people smile. But when you step off the glossy brochures and into the used market, reality is more complicated. Owning a used Porsche can be a deeply rewarding experience, intoxicatingly fast, connected, and built with a driver's soul. But it can also be expensive, fiddly, and at times unexpectedly time-consuming. So, in this video, we will walk you through the truth. Why people buy used Porsches, what to expect when you own one, the realistic costs, common pitfalls, and how to get the best result whether you're a seasoned enthusiast or someone who just wants something fun to drive on weekends. Porsches are engineered with performance as the top priority, and that engineering shows in ways that matter to everyday ownership. The air-cooled 911s of the past are legendary for feel and sound, and today's water-cooled cars continue the lineage with better emissions, higher power, and improved safety. That DNA, a low-slung chassis, precise steering, and a drivetrain tuned for response, is why people forgive a lot. Even base-model used Porsches feel special compared to many new cars twice their price. But performance-oriented engineering also means that components are designed for high loads, tight tolerances, and in some cases, complex electronics. Those things cost money to maintain, and sometimes to repair. A common myth is that Porsches are bulletproof and cheap to run because they're German engineering. In truth, they're better engineered than many, and they can be more durable when well maintained, but they're not immune to wear and tear. Routine services like oil changes, brakes, tires, and coolant flushes follow the same logic as any performance car. Do them on schedule and costs stay predictable. Skip them and the car will remind you loudly and expensively. Let's talk numbers. A basic oil change for a Cayman, Boxster, or 911 typically runs between $300 and $500 at an independent shop, more than double the cost for a Toyota or Honda. Brake pads and rotors can easily cost $1,000 to $1,800 per axle, depending on the model. For a new set of high-performance tires, expect to bleed out $1,200 to $2,000 every 20,000 to 25,000 miles for 19 or 20-inch setups. Major services such as spark plugs, coolant flushes, and transmission fluid changes can run $1,500 to $3,000 depending on age and mileage. When people say Porsche is expensive to own, they usually mean three things: parts, labor, and the temptation to drive hard. Genuine Porsche parts often cost considerably more than equivalent parts from mainstream brands, and specialized labor rates at independent shops that know Porsches can range from $150 to $250 per hour. That said, owning a Porsche doesn't have to mean spending like you're at the dealership. Dealership labor often exceeds $300 per hour, but a knowledgeable independent European car specialist can perform many services at substantially lower rates, and used parts markets, salvage yards, and online forums make some components affordable. The trade-off is that you need to be selective about who you trust with the work. A poor repair on a tight geometry engine or transmission can cause headaches that make cheap fixes far more expensive later. Different Porsche models mean very different ownership experiences. The 911 across its generations tends to be the most beloved and also the most representative of the brand's character. Rear-engine balance, addictive sound, and a wide range of trims from sensible to ballistic. The Cayman and Boxster are mid-engined and often praised for neutral handling and pure balance, making them excellent driver's cars that are slightly more affordable to buy used. The Panamera and Cayenne brought Porsche into the luxury sedan and SUV arenas, attracting buyers who need more space but want Porsche handling in a more practical package. The Macan is the smaller Porsche crossover and often represents the lowest cost entry point into the brand for people who need an everyday vehicle. Used market prices vary widely. As of 2025, clean 911 Carreras from the early 2000s can be found in the $30,000 to $45,000 range, while later 991 generation 911s sit closer to $60,000 and $80,000 depending on mileage and trim. Caymans and Boxsters from the 2010s hover around $25,000 to $40,000, while the larger Cayenne SUV spans $20,000 to $50,000 depending on age and configuration. Even an older Panamera with V6 power still averages around $25,000 to $35,000 in decent condition. Engine and transmission choices matter a lot. Turbocharged engines are powerful and economical in some driving conditions, but they introduce complexity. Turbo seals, intercoolers, boost-related sensors, and higher cylinder pressures. Naturally aspirated engines are often simpler and beloved for audible and tactile feedback, but they are sometimes less efficient. Tiptronic or PDK transmissions are generally reliable when maintained, but fluid services and filter changes can cost $600 to $1,000 and are not to be skipped. If a transmission fails, repair or replacement can reach $8,000 to $12,000. Manual transmissions, where available, are usually cheaper to maintain and are a huge draw for purists. But finding a clean, well-driven manual Porsche is rarer and often commands a $3,000 to $7,000 premium over automatics. Age and service history are everything with Porsches. A well-documented service history from a caring owner is worth thousands of dollars in peace of mind. Cars that have been driven hard on track frequently without sympathetic rebuilds, or ones with long gaps in maintenance records, bring risk. Rubber components, engine mounts, suspension bushings, timing cover gaskets, and coolant hoses degrade with time and frequently show up as maintenance items on cars over a decade old. Replacing suspension bushings or control arms can run $2,000 to $3,000, and even a water pump replacement often lands near $1,200. For any used Porsche, a thorough pre-purchase inspection by someone who knows the model is essential and typically costs around $400 to $600. That inspection is not an optional expense. It's insurance against hidden mechanical surprises and sometimes reveals cosmetic or structural issues that would affect resale or safety. Rust is less of a concern for many modern Porsches than for older European classics, but corrosion can occur in any car if it's spent long periods in harsh climates or been poorly stored. Check battery trays, wheel wells, and any underbody sections for hidden corrosion. Also be vigilant for signs of accident repair and poor paint blending. Expensive body panels and alignment-sensitive suspension geometry make solid structural condition important. Maintenance costs scale with the car's performance level and age. Expect routine servicing, that's oil changes, filters, brakes, and inspections, to average $1,000 to $2,000 per year for light usage, if you drive moderately and keep up with service intervals. Major services or unexpected repairs can easily double that number in a bad year. Items prone to wearing out like catalytic converters, oxygen sensors, and complex electronics are similarly more expensive to replace, with catalytic converters costing upwards of $3,000 and electronic modules often north of $1,500. The bright side is that many parts are widely available, and a strong aftermarket means you can choose between OEM components and lower-cost alternatives where appropriate. One of the most emotionally charged areas in used Porsche ownership is modifications and past use. Track cars can be wonderful. They prove the car's character and often receive meticulous mechanical attention, but they also undergo stresses that can reduce long-term part life. Street-driven cars with tasteful upgrades that retain service integrity can be excellent buys, but avoid cars with sloppy modifications, lifted suspensions, or hacked engine management systems. A single poorly executed modification can hide deeper maintenance neglect. Insurance and running costs also deserve attention. Porsches often fall into higher insurance brackets due to repair costs and theft risk in some markets. Typical annual premiums in the US for a clean record run between $1,500 and $3,500 depending on model, location, and driving history. If you plan to use a used Porsche as your daily driver, add fuel, premium gas only, averaging $80 to $100 per fill-up, tires, insurance, and maintenance to your monthly running cost estimate. If it's a weekend-only toy, you still must consider storage, battery maintenance, and the occasional service to keep it in top form. Buying strategy matters. Certified pre-owned Porsches from dealers will often fetch a premium, but they come with the benefit of dealer inspection, reconditioning, and limited warranty coverage. Expect to pay $5,000 to $10,000 more for a comparable certified pre-owned car versus a private sale. The CPO route is appealing if you want warranty peace of mind, but it's not the only path to a happy ownership. Private party cars with excellent service histories and a pre-purchase inspection can be great bargains. If you're buying an older classic 911 or a first-generation Cayman or Boxster, seek a specialist who understands the peculiarities of that generation's issues. Look for campaigns or completion of recalls, Ensure the timing components are in order for engines known to need attention, and verify any major service items. There's a myth that Porsches hold value almost better than other brands. While the 911 and certain limited editions do retain value well, depreciation still happens and varies by model, trim, and market demand. Some models, special editions, limited production variants, and cars with desirable manual transmissions can actually appreciate. But most used Porsches follow the standard curve: steep early depreciation, then a plateau. For instance, a 2018 911 Carrera that sold new for around $95,000 may now trade around $65,000, while a 2015 Cayman that cost $65,000 when new might sit closer to $35,000 today. If your goal is investment, research specific model year markets carefully. If your goal is driving enjoyment, simply buy what you love and be prepared for ownership costs. Community and resources are a real advantage when buying used Porsches. There are robust owner clubs, model-specific forums, and local meetups filled with people who will help you understand the quirks of a 996 versus a 997, or the benefits of PDK over manual for daily driving. These communities are great for sourcing parts, finding trusted mechanics, and learning which model years had factory issues and which cosmetic options are actually worth the money. Tap into them. They'll save you time and money, and they often help you avoid models with known recurring problems. If you're tentative about complexity and want low-friction ownership, the Macung and later Cayenne models tended to be engineered with more mainstream buyers in mind and are often easier to live with day-to-day, especially in higher trim comfort configurations. If the romanticism of air-cooled flat sixes or the visceral feedback of a naturally aspirated engine is your driver's fuel, be prepared for mechanical footwork, more attentive maintenance, more careful storage, and a budget for inevitable repairs over time. A few practical pieces of advice will make the difference between a dream buy and a money pit. First, always do a pre-purchase inspection by a specialist. Second, prioritize records. A complete service log from a knowledgeable shop is priceless. Third, accept that tires and brakes are recurring but predictable expenses. Budget them. Fourth, beware of cars sold as maintenance-free, because their maintenance was deferred. A low price can mask costly upcoming work. Fifth, if a deal looks too good, ask why. There's usually a reason. And finally, consider how you'll use the car. A weekend car driven thoughtfully at sensible revs will likely outlast a daily driver that is constantly stressed in stop-and-go traffic or subjected to frequent track days. The emotional side of owning a Porsche also matters. For many owners, the audio, the tactile feedback of a well-sorted gearbox, the way a Porsche responds to inputs, and the aura of driving something crafted with a racing heritage focus are worth the extra dollars. There's also a social side. Porsche ownership tends to come with invitations to drives, meets, and a level of camaraderie that many marques don't offer. That value is subjective, but it's real. In the end, the truth about used Porsches is balanced. They're not a universal recommendation for every budget, but they're a sensible, exhilarating choice for those who respect the cost of entry and the discipline of ownership. If you purchase one carefully, maintain diligently, and choose a model and generation that fits your needs, a used Porsche will definitely be a memorable experience for you. On the flip side, if you chase an underpriced example with a thin service record hoping to save money, you might end up spending more than you planned and losing your sleep as parts and surprises accumulate. If you found the video useful, be sure to hit the like button to support us. Thank you.